Everybody, and welcome to Week 7 of Pinto's Preview right here on KFGO.com. This is the first time we get to talk about NDSU coming off a loss. Last week, a 17-14 defeat at the hands of the Indiana State Sycamores. Reason being, turnovers. Brock Jensen, 3 interceptions, 2 returned for touchdowns, and 1 on a critical drive when NDSU, all they needed was 3 points. Had an opportunity, were close enough, but Jensen threw yet another interception. Now NDSU gets the opportunity to take on the University of South Dakota down in Sioux Falls. A neutral site game. Both teams will be wearing dark colors. USD will be wearing red. NDSU will be wearing gold. NDSU coming off their first loss in 10 tries, and again their first loss since Youngstown State last year, will have an opportunity to take on a team that is yet to win in the Missouri Valley Conference. In fact, the Coyotes' first season in the Missouri Valley Football Conference. So let's get into it. My 3 points to look for in the upcoming game between NDSU and USD. Point one I want to make is, how is NDSU going to respond after a loss? We look back at last year, and after a loss to Youngstown State 27-24 at home in the season's 10th game of the year for NDSU, they went on, beat Western Illinois. They went on a great run in the playoffs with home field advantage throughout, beating James Madison, followed by Lehigh, followed by Georgia Southern, followed by Sam Houston State. Now the competition for NDSU following this loss is not nearly as stiff, but USD does mirror Western Illinois in the fact that they're a beatable team, especially on the road. Now NDSU is going to be angry, they're going to be upset, but they're also going to be a little bit hurt. No Ryan Smith, no Brian Shepard, no Zach Vra. So NDSU, in my mind, is going to come out, they're going to run the ball, and they're going to make sure and let this offense win in the trenches. The offensive line needs to get the confidence back. Brock Jensen needs to get his confidence back. The team as a whole needs to get back on track and realize why they're still #1 in the GPI and they're still ranked in the top 5 nationally. The second point I want to make is how close USD has been this season to getting a big-time win. Last year they beat a #1 ranked team in Eastern Washington 30-17. Now Eastern Washington back as the #1 team after a loss by NDSU. But we look at games they've played. Lost a close one to Montana. Lost a close one to Illinois State. In fact, had Missouri State on the ropes with 6 minutes to go and still found a way to lose that game. Growing pains. First full season in the Missouri Valley Football Conference, it'll do that to you. But USD has some talent on the defensive side of the ball, and when they play a 3-4, defense NDSU has struggled with, they're going to be looking to make some plays early on in this game to gain some confidence and see what they can do and see if they can continue with that momentum and have it carry throughout the game. If USD creates a couple turnovers in the first half, look for this game to be a lot closer. Otherwise, NDSU is going to be able to control the ball, move the chains, and win this game handily. But again, USD, a couple big plays in that first half, could be a completely different story. The third and final point I'd like to make is where this game is being played. Not so much the fact of it's at Howard Wood Field, but the fact that it's away from the Dakota Dome, away from Vermillion in Sioux Falls. And all accounts are telling me that this game is going to be 50-50, maybe mostly NDSU fans there, more so than USD fans. NDSU fans travel well. Anytime they have an opportunity to make it more of a home game than it should be for their Bison, they do it. And it's only a quick drive down I-29. It is the closest game NDSU plays on the road all year long. And NDSU fans are going to be out in droves. Now NDSU coming out after a loss, they're going to need that energy from the crowd, and I think the Bison fans are going to bring it. So USD is going to have trouble now with the crowd as well, along with the fact that they're playing the #4 team in the nation. So the crowd is going to have a major effect on this game because it is in a neutral site, if you will, at Howard Wood Field. And I think that the Bison are going to benefit more so from the crowd than the Coyotes will. And now for my prediction. I think it's going to be a 31-14 win for NDSU. Last year, after a loss to Youngstown State, they beat Western Illinois 37-21. I think it's going to be kind of similar results. NDSU is going to come out, make a couple big plays, get on the board early, and really keep USD at bay. The weather is not supposed to be much of a factor. Light winds, 5 to 15 miles per hour, 57 degrees for a high, and it'll rain all week leading up to the game, but for the game itself, it should be perfect football weather at a 6 o'clock kickoff, which of course you can hear right here on the Mighty 790 KFGO. NDSU, big win to bounce back, and they're going to need it because the rest of the schedule moving forward doesn't get any easier, with Southern Illinois coming in to the Fargo Dome, a road game followed by another tough home game against South Dakota State, and then they have to end the season against Illinois State. So 3 big games USD one of these games that they can go into, win big, build some confidence for the rest of the season. For Pinto's Preview and KFGO.com, I'm Daniel Gunderson.